Good evening. I find you well after this windy, stormy. Well, it's not after; it's still at it, and the chimney is whistling there, and you hear things rattling. You don't know what's rattling. I went out and checked there. I noticed there the other night when it was really windy, stormy. There was something rattling. I noticed that where I have the electricity, the electricity outside where the meter is, a new modern meter. You don't need to come down and read it. It gives it automatic. But that door for some reason opened and it was banging. And I was wondering I could hear the bang because it was in a small room. And I thought, what's that banging? And I saw there that I think was it this morning or I saw it was open. So I closed it and locked it and checked it to make sure it wasn't banging again because I thought I heard banging and I went out to check there earlier and no, it was locked and it wouldn't open. So, so we have to take what God sends. He always has a purpose, and there's a strong wind there. So, anyway, Bishop uh, Joseph Reese, it's a Light and Leaven, the challenge of the laity in the 21st century. And just to sort of paraphrase what he says, I can't read it now until I get permission from the publishers. Now, he was he mentioned that Catholic Church is under severe attack by governments, the political establishment, the media, and that they regard the Catholic faith and maybe some other faiths as problematical. But they pick the Catholic faith out, they don't say anything about the Muslims. Funny how they attack the Catholic faith, the way, the truth, and the life that we cherish. And of course, we have to defend it, and we will defend it. But Bishop, being a bishop, he took his role very serious, and he found that people now regard it as oppressive and want to sort of do their own thing and make their own, be gods, if you like. And of course, that's a recipe for disaster. That's darkness, no joy, no purpose, and that type of thing. So we focused on that and described what it was in the United States and what it is in some ways in this country because in the United States you do have a tax and they're even wanting doctors that have the Catholic faith and nuns and all that to try and do things against their religion completely. So they're absolutely, what's the word, depraved in some ways. The beauty of the Catholic Church, the great gift that it gives to our purpose in life. Uh, he was a great bishop to sort of, he is a great bishop to sort of focus on that. But you make enemies, especially in higher places in the Vatican. It's funny how the good ones are silenced and they try to silence them. And the great Cardinal Raymond Buck of great Irish descent, a great spokesman for the traditional, marvellous beauty of the Catholic faith and the Latin rite, which in my time was churches was packed, confessions was packed, and it was the Latin rite, and we had missals. I was an order boy for a while, and but we knew all the in Latin the prayers and that. But then the sermon was in English, and it was called a sermon. It wasn't called this homily business. They changed everything. Can't do things like that. So, anyways, that's part of what he stands for, Bishop Strickland, and there's a few now like him coming up here and there. Archbishop Gomez is another great prelate in California. And there's other ones as well that are standing out. There's ones that leave a lot to be desired. Wrong ones, uh, supporting stuff that's not in the tradition of what Jesus taught in the apostles. You can't do things what they're doing. The great gifts of the Catholic faith, and it's very much advisable. The priest should face the tabernacle. Never turn your back on the tabernacle. Can you imagine going into the church and turning your back on the tabernacle on purpose? You couldn't do it. You go in there and either breathe body, blood, soul, and divinity of our divine Saviour in the tabernacle. And hello, it's me coming in. Something like that. You just go ordinary. You don't do all sorts of stuff. You just speak the way that you would to anybody. And certainly to Jesus and our Blessed Mother, the great gift that He gave us on the cross. Our Mother, Blessed Mother. What a great honour He bestowed on mankind. And what a great honour He bestowed with the sacrament, the Eucharist, the consecration, the whole gift of the body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Holy Communion, the sacrament of confession. What a great gift, what a great purpose. Imagine turning your back on that. But above all, priests should face the tabernacle like they did in the Latin rites. I don't know what's wrong with them in the Vatican that's interfering with that. Something wrong somewhere there, isn't there? Well, you support what's good, don't you? You support what was successful. You don't change from what was good to something that was a disaster. And it wasn't put in the Vatican too, by the way. That wasn't responsible. They took their own. They used it as a pretext. It was never encountered that they would be doing what they wound up doing. Taking the altar rails out of churches. Talking about inclusion. It had a disaster result, and now it's only 10% actually going to Holy Mass, leaving the others in grave danger. So shepherds would want to wake up and do their duty like the apostles, because if the apostles was like them, there'd be no Catholic faith for us to follow, and thanks be to God that we have it. And Bishop Strictland was a great defender of it, and you need more like him. They should be all like him. But it's extraordinary that they're not all like him. They're administrators more than what they should be doing. We need bishops that bishop. So there we are, and that's just a brief outline, and I'm giving my own interpretation as well from my experience, because I experienced all this. A lot of people didn't, and only hear about it, and maybe if they go by what this crowd of nutcases in the government come out and people of that calibre, they might think it was oppressive, but it was quite the reverse. People didn't have much, but by goodness, they were far happier to focus on immigration, but that was their own incompetence. Civil war happening before at the foundation of the state was not a good recipe for success. Division is always bad, and that was a very dangerous thing for anyone to undertake when we got our freedom. Yeah, they have a lot on their conscience that was responsible for that. Yeah, and innocent people killed that did great work. Yep. So here we are. So that's the situation there, and we have a great the Catholic faith, and certainly it's the great gift that Jesus passed on to us, and we certainly are thankful for it. So I'm going to be singing my hymns now after this. So get your places in the orderly manner, of course, and we'll have to go as usual. Some of the favourites. Bye now.